How complex can simplicity be? An interesting question that I often ask myself as I journey through the calming and non-aggressive world of Outpath. You'll find yourself waking up on a seemingly basic and quiet island populated with a few animals and foliage. Quaint, yet welcoming. The cows and chickens have straight, expressionless faces, the flowers and grass look simple and clickable. This leaves the question, what happens if we decide to give a few clicks to one of these creatures or objects? Well, poof. No, seriously, behind all the surreal basicness, our character happens to be a god of destruction. Well, maybe not that, but we do have the strange ability at deconstructing anything in our path to raw and pure materials. It sounds morbid, but in reality, everything responds relatively quickly. We obviously aren't operating in your typical realm, so don't feel too bad as the world witnesses your embrace. We would like to thank Davi Projects, Grab the Games, and Upgrade Point for providing us with a key to cover Outpath. There's more to this game than meets the eye, so without further ado, let's jump into this strange world. At first glance, Outpath looks like a first-person, open-world clicker game. In a lot of ways, it is, and it shares a lot of similarities to your standard mobile game that has you upgrading and improving your income. That might sound like a bad thing, but in a strange way, it works really well in this setting. I would classify Outpath as a material collection game. Your goal is to click on essentially every object until their health bar is depleted, then collect the goodies that drop. These items are essential for crafting new tools and gear that passively and actively increase your overall clicking power. The gameplay cycle is pretty straightforward. Go out and collect materials, come back and upgrade tools. Take this game for the monotonous glory that it is. Although it may sound simple, Outpath soon shows its depth as you begin unlocking and researching upgrades. Essentially, every time you destroy an object or creature, you are granted points that you can use to research new crafting stations or hardware. There's a large variety of these crafting stations that you'll construct to push your character and base forward, ranging from tool construction to furniture and base building. In fact, the level of industrialization is surprisingly vast in this simple clicker game. You will unlock a marketplace to sell off materials for points, an upgrade station to enhance your learned skills, and even a cauldron to brew potions in. Almost every station is based around improving your overall clicking speed and material collection speed. Whether it's a new pickaxe to mine stone faster or a delicious sandwich that increases the power behind your swings. You'll find that you can become a powerhouse through pairing together all these resources at your disposal. One of my favorite parts about this game was how many food buffs you can stack on yourself at once. These buffs include increasing your clicking power, boosting the speed of your clicks, and raising the clicking crit chance. I often found myself eating multiple fruits and prepared foods right before I began harvesting an entire island. What can I say? You can't work on an empty stomach. To start, you won't be devouring everything you collect as you need to eat a lot in order to keep the short buffs rolling. You simply can't collect enough food to satiate your never-ending hunger. That being said, once you start clicking away objects at faster paces, your pantry will be stocked and you'll be prepared for anything. Now, you might be asking, how do I find new materials? As I mentioned earlier, Outpath operates on a very simple gameplay loop, consisting of gathering materials and upgrading your tools. However, there is one main goal that you are progressing towards to complete. On your starting island, there is a strange monolith with stone tablets swirling around it. Upon further inspection, you can see that these stone tablets have resources pictured on them with a quantity. Delivering the specified resource to these tablets will grant you a boost in points. What do you do with these points, you ask? Well, other than using them to research new stations, you can also invest them into the main center stone, which has a meter on it requesting a certain amount of points. By investing enough points to fill the meter, your single island expands, adding a few new square islands surrounding it. These islands sometimes have new resources or increase the overall availability of resources that you've been grinding to gather. Each expansion also includes 1 to 2 skill books. After filling the meter a few more times, you'll have a fully recognized island, ready to be harvested. Once you've satisfied the stone tablets and maxed out your island's expansion, a new biome will pop up in the surrounding water, which you'll need to swim a distance to reach. This island is definitely different and distinct from what you've been operating on, offering new resources and skills to gather. This is the main component of expansion through the game. You'll continue to expand your current island, harvesting its bountiful resources until you unlock a new one and do the same thing all over again. There are also methods for collecting materials right from your home base. Outpath allows you to create a variety of stations that can collect food, water, bees, and other useful crafting components. These stations run passively in the background, and while some of them, like the farming plots, require some upkeep to continue running, you can always be sure that you'll have something to gather upon returning to your home. The extent at which the materials interact with each other is quite expansive. Everything has a purpose, and you'll soon discover that you'll need to explore all the different areas of gathering in order to progress as efficiently as possible. I want to highlight skills as they are the last component to creating a unique progression-based system in this game. As I mentioned, each island expansion hosts a variety of skills. There are loads of skills to be found that enhance your overall experience in collection methods, whether it be a double jump or increasing the amount of points that you can collect. You can find a wide variety of active and passive systems here. The skill books you find are just as exciting as the possibility of new and stronger materials that you obtain through exploring new biomes. On top of this, one of the crafting stations specializes in improving your skills. Some skills you can upgrade as many as 5 times, opening up an entirely new form of progression and making your playthrough of Outpath unique. The last area that I want to discuss is the automation methods that are available in Outpath. I haven't delved too much into automation, but from what I can tell, it can get pretty intense. I enjoy the simple, hard-working nature of collecting the materials myself. However, I have placed a few of these tools down to make collecting a little easier on the body. As you progress through the game, you will learn to craft harvesters, which are essentially machines of mass destruction. These harvesters will target nearby creatures and materials and click them up for you. You don't even need to be nearby as long as you are on the same island. There are other methods for letting these harvesters run while you're out exploring new biomes, but I'll leave that for your own discovery. You can essentially put these everywhere, resulting in a wasteland of floating materials to pick up. Definitely a little morbid in my opinion, as everything that spawns instantly gets poofed away, but in the end, you yourself can set a fine line between mass extinction and acceptable harvesting methods. Outpath was a surprise to me. It looks very simple and basic, but there is definitely a lot of essence at its core. Coming from someone who loved the monotony of fishing in games or creating a 500 block long strip mine in Minecraft, this was exactly what I needed. It maintains that love of gathering and upgrading resources while adding some fun features into the mix. For that, I'm giving Outpath the Pillowfort stamp of approval. For all those material-obsessed gamers out there, you can be sure to find exactly what you're looking for in this game. And for those of you that want to thrust your island into crisis by harvesting every ounce of materials 24/7, well then, I suppose there's something here for you too. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like. If you want to stay up to date with our content, then consider subscribing. We do reviews, gameplay videos, walkthroughs, and so much more.